Yeah, I said just walking out. Yeah, you go on a cruise now. Louder.
I used to belong to this youth group in high school, and they would get us to be quiet by raising their hands. And when you saw the hand go up, everybody raised their hands until everyone quieted down.
Especially when you're a Nazi German.
So good morning, everybody. As you are silencing your phones, please check in. Just point your camera at that, and that tells the Kauffman Foundation how many people are here. And then that adds you to our mailing list. And so I can send you message or meeting reminders on the Kauffman Foundation website. So if you're on that and you're on Meetup, you'll get 2 messages from me.
There's never a time to take a picture of everyone's phone.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone put your phone up.
Yeah, actually, everyone put your phone up. You don't have to take a picture, but put your phone up like you were taking a picture.
Yeah, see, there we go.
I can never do that.
It's a selection on there.
I don't know. I can never get it done. So anyway, good morning and welcome. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. My name is Eric Deckers. Today is March 1st. We went through this 28 days ago. Did anybody do rabbit this morning? I forgot again. I woke up at 3 in the morning and talked to my dogs and realized I'd do it. So I need rabbits. That'll fix it. Before we get started, we do have swag giveaways to anybody who has been to 4 meetings.
4 meetings in a row.
4 meetings in a row, or if you've been to 12 meetings in a row, you get one of these. I also have T-shirts in my cars. You have 4? Yeah.
John, I need to look.
What are you doing afterwards? Somewhere.
Anyone else?
You're catchy, we don't trust his growth.
Are you here for 2 more weeks? I may send you one after anyway. Just stick around. So today is also the beginning of Women's History Month.
That's good.
Yay.
So if you are a woman entrepreneur, there are a few resources available to you. You want to take a screenshot of that. We Venture at Women's Business Center is at FIT, I can't remember, Florida International. No, not Technological, yeah. Florida Institute of Technology, thank you. And then the Florida Women's Business Center and the Minority and Women Business Enterprise, which is part of the Orlando City government. I didn't put the whole URL up there because it's long, so you'll just have to click around and find it. And well, they're a sponsor or a supporter, so we mentioned Novo. Remember, yeah, Novo is a supporter of 1 Million Cups, and we'll have their logo up in a minute, but I think it's novo.org. Today we are going to be hearing from Bonnie Patterson of Mind Embody. And we're also going to maybe hear from Tony Martinez of Time Plast. Is Tony here in disguise? Is he online? All right, we'll be hearing from Bonnie of Mind and Body. You get a little extra time.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, just.
But before we do, let's talk about how 1 Million Cups is a community. We are a community of entrepreneurs. We build a network, a web of interconnected entrepreneurs and people who, hey, it's Melissa. Melissa, I think, is calling from Spain right now. So, yeah. This is the woman who was here last week, sat in the back. She is from Spain, went back to Spain this week.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So welcome back, Melissa.
Does she win her distance one?
I don't know. I'd have to Google Map because Trevor's on. I don't know which is farther.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
She's my main.
What time is it?
3 p.m.
Oh, cool.
Time for coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I can join from here.
Yeah, so are we. Thank you for coming. So anyway,
Thank-
1 Million Cups is a community of entrepreneurs and trusted resources and mentors and mentees and guides and referral partners. We do that by educating, engaging, and connecting. We educate by having people like Bonnie come up and tell us about her company, and we educate by providing feedback and constructive criticism and asking a lot of questions. And that is something that we want to encourage you to do, is to give constructive criticism and feedback. This is a practice time for our presenters. The idea is that they can go on and pitch to actual investors with actual real money. And so we want to get them to be the best that they can. So we need to give that kind of constructive feedback that helps them do that. So that's how we educate. We engage by meeting each other. I was talking with Crystal out here in the lobby a little bit ago, and everybody's encouraged to come early for that networking time so you can meet someone new. And then we connect and deepen those relationships by meeting for coffee, meeting for lunch, having a Zoom call or a phone call. And basically we become entrepreneurial friends, e-friends. And so that's how we build that community of entrepreneurs where we know each other and we can say, hey, I know somebody you should meet. I had a Zoom call with AJ Gupta, if you remember him from a few weeks ago. He was telling me about an app idea that he had. And I said, oh, you need to talk to Mike because I've had coffee with Mike. And so even though they have been in the same room, I don't think they've ever met. And so I'm going to introduce them. That's what a community looks like, and that's what a community does. So that's what I'm encouraging everybody to build. Welcome to our new visitors. How many people are here for the first time?
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, Crystal, how'd you hear about us? And what do you do?
My name is Crystal. I heard about you guys through Shauna Jackson, and I provide haircuts to children on the spectrum. So I go to their homes, centers, schools, facilities, and I create individualized toleration procedures for each child. Yes.
That's very
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. And Matt, how did you hear about us? And what do you do?
I hear about you on Meetup. I was searching Meetup events here, and I found that it was 1 Million Cup, and I thought it was an interesting place to be. And I run a startup that is focused on, it's a program to organize links and to help people to research and be more.
Okay, great. And
I like that.
Derek, is it?
I'm Derek Snyder. I'm an alumni of Million Cups, Asheville, Jacksonville. You're the closest one to Jacksonville.
Don't tell them about Daytona Beach. So great, we're glad you're here. And yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marlene, and I'm trying to start a data company, specifically serving the real estate industry. So yeah, I'm working on getting publicly available data to help generate, leads and lists and other, data investors care about. So and I heard about these 2 meetups as well.
Okay, great. Oh, made her smile again. Excellent. Thank you. So the 1 Million Cups Organizing Committee, these are the people who help make this event happen. We meet before every Wednesday meeting, and some of us also meet on Fridays. You're always welcome to join us. We meet at Donut Central and Fuel Presso, which is at Cimarron and Aloma. If anybody remembers Sleeping Moon Cafe, the coffee shop, that's it. That's where they got rid of it and put in a new coffee shop. It was very bitter when they did that.
Better coffee.
Yeah, bitter coffee.
But it's a working meeting.
Yes, it is a working meeting. So we talk for about 20 minutes and then just kind of get distracted by our laptops and we work for another hour. But it's a good time. It is a good way to kind of contribute to 1 million cups, but also to get to know each other better and to get a little work done.
Sir, can you tell me what time it was?
9 a.m. on Friday. And they do have the best apple fritters in the city. I will
Their
fight you on
donuts are
that.
lit.
Yeah.
Especially with bacon on top.
Oh, yeah. They have a maple bacon donut. They have a croissant donut.
Yeah, glazed croissant.
Hey.
I know. Donut King has I think second best apple fritters, and those things are huge. They're like a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Those are beer club.
The name of it again, Eric?
Donut Central and Fuel Presso. Fuel Presso is one word. Fuel Espresso, Fuel Presso.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to join us, it's every Friday, 9 a.m. If you want me to add you to the calendar invite so you can be notified if we ever cancel, let me know. We are supported by NABO of Orlando, Women's History Month, SCORE, Virtual Entrepreneurs, and Orlando Entrepreneurs. We are sponsored by the UCF Business Incubator, which is where we are sitting now. If anybody has a startup and they need some space, you can apply to be a part of the incubator. And then you can get some office space here or at any of the other incubators around the Central Florida region. Solai Coffee, Peter brings the coffee. He imports it from Kenya, roasts it himself. So if you're enjoying his coffee, you have Peter to thank for it.
Best coffee as well.
Yes. Denny is the donut king. He brings the donuts each week. And then Scott Hill of Technology is shooting the videos of each meeting, and we post those on YouTube and Facebook. So if you are looking for a past speaker, you can find it there. Or if you are a speaker, you can watch it and assess yourself. And that's all thanks to Scott. We're also sponsored by Don Kirkendall at Kirkendall Insurance, Serendipity Labs, and if you know Deja Robinson, who's on our board, she helps run Serendipity Labs, and then Rupert at Burnout Game Ventures. And if you like Steam games, Rupert's the guy to talk to. If you have not presented, or if you presented more than 6 months ago, PJ, you can apply to present. You just go onto the website, you fill out the application, and then you'll talk with Josh a little bit. He'll guide you on what that looks like. And then once you have been accepted, you schedule your own presentation. And so anybody who has a company should be up here speaking. This is a great chance for other people to hear about you, for you to get feedback on your business, and again, just to practice your pitch. A quick reminder, join us on meetup.com if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram on 1MC Orlando. We are looking for sponsors to help us cover the cost of swag and other marketing materials. And then finally, invite your friends. We've been filling up this room every week because we're inviting friends. And we're hoping to move back to Rollins College by the end of May. And once that happens, we will have a big room to fill. So then you'll be encouraged to invite 2 friends.
And they'll actually stay friends too.
And they'll stay friends, not like now when we have to fight each other for room. So let's welcome Bonnie Patterson of Mind Embody. For the first time on
That works.
Oh, see the bottom right when you move a little bit? The arrows.
That one, where was that?
Down.
This one?
Yeah.
This one, there we go. Thank you.
Full screen.
Here we go. Okay, and I'll put that right there. Where it's at. When I was 14 years old, I was raped and I was told that I can't tell anyone because those 2 gentlemen were valuable athletes in the community. When I was 16 years old, I was given a black eye for my birthday and told I'd be nothing more than a $2 an hour ecstasy addicted waitress. By the time I was 20 years old, I had an emergency C-section that was performed. Really didn't need to, but I didn't have a voice at that point. I didn't feel like I could speak up for myself. So it makes sense that by the time I was 30 years old and a single mom of two, killing herself, working full-time, going to school full-time to prove to the world that I could be more than a waitress, you can kind of see how I might burn out. I wish that this story was unique to me, but I can guarantee you that at least one of those incidents resonates with at least every woman in this room. So it makes sense why women are not neck and neck with men in so many different aspects of the world right now. In fact, according to Forbes magazine, 50% of women all over the world give up on their dreams, their goals themselves. And you can imagine why. We've got kids, we've got everything, all these demands, and we're still expected to perform the same way and are also paid less. For a woman to become everything that she was supposed to be, for me to, let's say none of those things happen, what I would have needed to flourish and become everything that I was put on this earth to be, females need to feel safe, females need to be seen, and females need to feel supported. Men have their needs too, right? Men have a need for structure, for logic, for consistency, for things to make sense. This is how we operate. This is how you guys operate. So I wanted to make sure that you guys understood. So I put it in your language. Okay. So what that looks like, and this is also from that report from Forbes, is that the reason why we're not ahead or at least leveled out is because of a lack of confidence, a lack of community, and a lack of capital. So in real time, what this looks like, lack of confidence. How many of us know a woman who started a new project, a new job, a new weight loss plan, and she quit maybe a week or two into it because she doesn't believe in herself? Because she's been showed all through life, you can't, you're not worth much, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough time to do this, right? The other one is lack of capital. I have so many stay-at-home moms who don't have money to pay for the program, even though we have come up with so many convenient pricings because their husband sees it as a luxury. So now she doesn't have support either in the form of a community in her own home. And aside from the lack of capital, you know, the gender gap with equality in pay and stay-at-home moms not having access to funds, inflation is ridiculous and people are already spending about $445 extra per month. So coaching is seen as a luxury. What is the solution to all of this? Before I even touch on all of this, I'm going to go back to my story real quick. By the time I was 30, I was burnt out. I did give up on myself. And the only reason why I picked myself back up is because I needed a win in life. So I started going to the gym. And that coach started working with me. And as we were building physical strength, I started to remember who I was. I started to gain confidence. And when I lost that weight, I gained so much confidence, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was getting employee of the month at work now. I've got a parking spot with my name on it. And within 2 years, I had quit a job that was killing me inside and started my own coaching business. And what I noticed was that the same process was kind of happening with my clients. They'd come to me for fitness. We'd end up working as, they'd stay on with me as their life coach. And then they're like, well, dang, Bonnie, what's next? What's the next level for me? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? So then we start working on their passion projects and picking up the things that they didn't believe they'd have supported. No, I'm here to support you, babe. We got a community. Oh, I don't have money. We have so many resources we're connected to. Let us show you. And so many women are cut off from that community. And that's what we're providing. So we start with fitness because when you look good, you feel good. We start with the community because also representation matters. Seeing other women do what I did gives them hope that it's actually possible. And then of course, the capital. We're removing the barrier in all of the gatekeeping, which I'll talk more about in the next couple of slides. So this is what our client journey looks like, and I kind of just described it. Clients will come in with a low barrier entry. Some people come in at one-on-one. They have the money to do so, great. But we wanted to make sure that there was no barrier. So we do free challenges. I have a podcast. We have free workshops, courses. And then once they're in the community, they're like, wow, I came here to lose 10 pounds and I'm healing my inner child. Wow, I came here to lose 10 pounds. And I'm like picking up all these pieces of me that I'd abandoned over life, right? At that point, now they feel a little bit more safe to expand and invest in themselves in some more serious coaching programs. And then after that, they either continue to one of the next levels of coaching that me or one of my coaches provides. They launch businesses, they start their passion projects, as I explained, or they return to the community and stay in one of the low ticket options as a community leader, or some of them, well, actually all of my C-suite are former clients. right now, for everything that I described that we're providing for our community, this is what it looks like if you're not in the mind and body community. You want personal development, you gotta have an app here. You got the personal development app, Growth Day. You want fitness, you have to have a fitness subscription. These are amazing as well, but all they provide is the fitness. You want to go deeper, you can choose either religious leaders or the super metaphysical leaders. And then of course you have like success motivation, entrepreneurial motivation, that sort of thing. But we have to go to all these different places to get the one thing that Mind and Body provides for women. And I wanted to throw this in here. There's a lot of resistance right now towards coaching as a whole, because in the last 2 years, we had a lot of opportunists enter the space. I lost 5 pounds, I'm a weight loss coach. I made $10,000, I'm a business coach. And they're overselling people like myself and women who are emptying out their savings account like, this is gonna change my life, getting very little access to these coaches. And once they've spent $5,000, $7,000 on these programs for 3 months, now they have no community and now they're also broke again. I don't feel very confident after that. The only reason why I kept going is because I knew that this needed to be created. Everybody doesn't have that same drive going for them, and they shouldn't have to. Now, this is what we're currently working with. So Mind and Body kind of does look like those 4 things spread out everywhere. I have Kajabi, which is where I deliver the courses to the clients. We have Trainerize, which is an amazing fitness app where I'm able to track all kinds of daily habits and progress markers that only a true personal trainer would appreciate. This app is amazing. I love it. But it's one more thing I got to add to the client when they join. Then we have the Facebook community. So now they have 3 different places they have to go in order to be a part of the community and to get the resources. Not to mention, all the coaches have a podcast. So if they want to hear their coach now, they got to go on Spotify or go on iTunes, all these different places. So this is what we are working towards now. We have the community, we have the clients, we have proof of concept, we know that it works. I want to get this into one app. And the inspiration for this came from the very first fitness app that I used to train clients on. And the interface looked just like Facebook. And I was like, it was such an amazing tool to connect the clients. Like, I didn't know my coaches other clients, but every time I would complete a workout, everyone would know, and they'd give me a high five and cheer me on. Or anytime I do like a healthy habit or something like that. But what I'm suggesting is that, or what we're trying to create is an app that has all of those things in there, and that instead of a drama-filled, time-wasting app like Facebook, it would be used for women to come together and be encouraging each other as they're working on their habits and their goals. They'd be able to access their fitness stuff. They'd also be able to access the courses that I have. And then they'd also be able to access their coaches' podcasts and any other spiritual work we have going on. We have a lot going on. And so this is my team. As I mentioned, every single one of these ladies is a product of Mind and Body. And the one that touches my heart the most, I'm gonna try so hard not to cry, is Elida. Elida and I started working together when I was her in-person trainer at the gym. And COVID came, shut down all the gyms, and I still went to meet with her because I believed in her so much. And she was in a job that she hated that was killing her physically. She couldn't stand up for herself. She was getting taken advantage of. And she's like, I just want to be happy. And I just want to feel useful, like I can do something with my life. And that hit me so hard. Well, today, Elida is my CFO, and she also took a picture flying in the sky because she just got her pilot's license. This is what we do for women. So thank you so much for your time. This is Mind and Body. Sorry. Okay.
Similar, is trying to get into the similar career in data science, but having difficulty to see why I can't do it. My question is about the app. Did you?
No. Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
What's the story behind the name of Mind and Body?
So one of the things that we teach women, how we teach them to step into their power, is actually teaching them to embrace their masculine energy. Because every human should have a little bit of each. Think of the yin yang sign. The black has a little bit of white, the white has a little bit of black. And so the way, you know how you always hear about toxic masculinity, right? Well, there's also toxic femininity too. All of the worst attributes of a female are very existent too. And it looks like being needy, it looks like being whiny, it looks like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't, you know, like not believing in yourselves. And so I'm the tough love coach that's like, better get up and do that, junk girl, you got this. So the mind for me represents the masculine, the very logical, self-mastery aspect of a human, and the embodiment represents the femininity and the flow and being intuitive. And we want them to have both. And that's one of our like core pillars that we teach. Once you come in, we're immediately working on your mindset and using, you know, like the reprogramming techniques to help them change their thought patterns. Thank you.
I love that.
It's also a play on words.
It really is. Glad you got that.
What's your next business challenge? What's the next stage here? Where's it going?
So, clickety click. Right now, the biggest issue that we have is obviously the oversaturation on the market, because I grew my business before my team grew, and then I did a pivot to persevere last year when I realized that people were not spending the same. Like people were not as quick to dish out 3 and 5K for these programs because again, inflation. And so I was like, okay, let's create a membership. And so because we did that, obviously there's a huge dip in income. So paying for ads is getting more expensive, not to mention people are very resistant to coaches messaging them now because of the way how aggressive people were this past 2 years. So we're working on visibility, brand visibility. I speak, so any speaking opportunity would be phenomenal, whether it's a podcast, whether it's speaking at a high school, anything would be awesome. And I don't know how Crunch got up there, but Crunch was down here strategic partnering, because as of right now, that's the only company that we're actually partnered with. And they kind of don't give me a lot of publicity because they don't realize the scope of everything they do. And they just see Mind Body Fitness. So they don't really promote my stuff. So that's lame. Oh, I think Sean was saying something real quick.
I want you to practice what you are preaching. You have amazing confidence, amazing presence. You don't need advertisement. You are the spokesperson. Word of mouth is the best advertisement. You should do something like this anywhere you can offer your things.
Noted.
I can help you out.
Well, thank you, Sean. It's good to know because ads are aggravating. Rupert?
Okay, so I echo what everybody's been saying, so I don't have to repeat it. I like the presentation. I was looking more also, though, I have questions with regard to some details, like, so this is a presentation about your business. What's your business model? You mentioned you went from a pay-as-you-go type of a thing to a subscription. What are the subscription rates? How many clients do you have, et cetera?
Okay, so when we first started, we had a founder's rate of $50 a month for fitness only, but they obviously get way more than fitness. We raised it to $75 per month, and we tried to launch at the beginning of this year a $150 package that was a little bit more and just offered more value. Didn't go so it's staggering in, but it didn't like take off like a launch. Right now, total clients, we have 20, and it's a mix between subscriptions, one-on-one fitness coaching clients, and then one-on-one life coaching clients that I'm taking.
Okay. A suggestion would be, is it 50 and 150?
Well, there's no more 50, and 150 was something we were trying that we're not really advertising. So the membership is $75 per month.
Okay. I know it's a detail, but I would move it to $74.99.
Gotcha. Yeah, the numbering, or 97 even, like those numbers sit
Well,
better with people.
It's a value proposition, right?
Okay.
It's like, oh, it's less than $75, right? So that's one suggestion. The other one is we would need to have that up here, you know, let us know your growth and whatnot. I would have liked to have known a little bit more about the app and what you're trying to create. I mean, you went through it, and what so the first thing that I would do with regards to an app is find out who else is doing something similar. Right.
All the words that I had up there are kind of like Growth Day. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Okay, yes. When I heard of that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Except it doesn't do the fitness and it doesn't do this. But I was like, something along that, where people who are wanting personal growth, but specifically women.
Okay.
So theirs is not for women. There's one called Queen Warrior that is a fitness subscription, and I saw what they have. They have, you know, mindset coaching, and this is not, everybody says they do mindset coaching, actually mindset.
And
So-
another thing too is strategic partnering. So Spot Fitness app is somebody that I'm working with. And I strongly suggest that you talk with Yoni or Adam. And you know, see if you can do some sort of even cross collaborative marketing, right? Help each other out. Because you know what you offer is needed, it's necessary. That's why we have all those other things up there, which brings me to my next point. I'm sorry for
It's okay. This is good stuff.
I wouldn't use that quadrant for that, because you're just talking about the different ways that people are you know, women are seeking advice and help and whatnot, and guidance. I would just make them just like 4 things, because when an investor or somebody else in business looks at that quadrant, they're expected to see a competition chart, right? So where you have, you know, you're way up here and big up here, and then everybody else is down here, right? Because they're not offering nearly what you're offering,
So I
right?
kind of put us in the middle for that reason, like all of these things offer this, and here we are in the middle.
Yeah,
So
you
that
don't
was what I
wanna,
was
you don't,
thinking.
yeah, you don't wanna
originally.
do that,
No.
because from a business standpoint, that's the last place you wanna be, is in the middle, right? You wanna be an outlier, you wanna be out there, you wanna be bigger than everybody else, people wanna look at that and say, dang, you know, that woman's got it going on, right?
Right.
So, and I can help you with that and the other stuff, but I've got more, but I'll let other people talk.
Got it. I can't remember whose hand was up first over here. I want to say Denny.
Well, if I understand you right, you'd like to do a lot of marketing without spending a lot of money because you don't have it, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
What you should be doing is think in terms of the different conventions that are in town. The convention center right away. When you rent space in the convention center, you get a certain amount of rooms upstairs, which are available to you. You should approach the people that are doing the shows. Look, I can put on a seminar for the women who are coming to these things here. I'll do it for you for free, and then you get the advantage of pick customers from it. I can't imagine anybody saying, no, we're planning a show in a year and a half. I want you to be part of that. That just makes sense to me. And I would think that everybody that's doing a show will do the same thing, because you're offering a service to these people. And you're basically not charging for it unless somebody signs up. That's up to you to then sell what you're doing, which I think you do.
Never even thought of that at
See,
all.
and I think that's a great idea for you.
They need to productize.
So first of all, I just want to say your presentation, the way you presented, because I know you come from Toastmasters, was, you know, very, very easy to follow and great information. And the product sounds amazing. The only thing I question is, I didn't really see a tagline or anything that kind of described what. I think
Because
when
it's
you're
so hard.
it could be very, very simply crafted into short. I think you need something that distinguishes you from every other person. Takes exactly what you do.
Maybe around that male, feminine.
And visually too.
I had a logo that kind of had it like a meditating lady, and she had a barbell and a heart in one hand, and I loved it, but it didn't work moving forward. I was like, I don't, it's too basic, but I get what you're saying. Thank you so much for that.
I saw research about psychology of sales, and it was popcorn at the movie theater, and how they had small and large, and everyone's like, large is ridiculous. Then they put in medium just under large. So it's like small, medium, and large. So your biggest package is so close to the medium that everyone's like, well, you know what? And everyone buys the big one. Nobody buys medium. People may buy small, but if you had 3 prices and the max is so much more than the medium, it's a no-brainer. That's how you get them to sell number 1. Biggest price.
So put the prices up there. It's kind of- I really don't know whose hand was up first. Okay.
So, I just want to commend you. Like in the strategic partnership area. So I'm part of a founding member and a board with Lydia House, which is an industry that, well, not really an industry, but what we do is we help women that have been abused, battered, prostituted, drug addict, and literally it is amazing the change that you can see on these women when they come in to a year later, when they go out and they can focus on themselves and they can grow. And I know that there is not any type of, the exercise part and some of the other things that you're doing in there that I think if there's other similar type of entities like a Lydia House, that you could go in and partner and you can add great value out of that. And you could probably, now, in our case, the residents wouldn't pay for it, but the church probably. Because it's a church ministry that we provide everything for these women. Every medical, literally everything that they need, including housing.
That's partnership, right?
Yeah, so it's, it might be something to take a look at, something in that. And then something that Denny had mentioned. Like yesterday, they had the small, yesterday, something like that would be great for you, because they had speakers that were coming in. There was a woman there I happened to see when I walked out of a seminar that was talking about empowering women and some of the other things that they were doing. So yeah, stuff like that would be fantastic for you. It's just a different way to get your message out, and then figure out some way that you can provide like a free thank you gift for coming. Hey, here's a 30-day free trial to our app.
Absolutely.
You know, something like that.
Thank you. It's Ricky.
For that, Bonnie. Do you have any video testimonials on your site?
I have on the website, no, because the website is made by me. I don't make websites. Video, we have a ton of there's written testimonies on the fitness page, if you navigate on there, but on my social media is where all the video testimonials are. A ton of them, like their reels, their IGTV videos, their interviews, their podcast interviews. There's so many.
90% of the businesses fail because they're spending so much money on marketing and everything. Like louder, meanest thing. They can't live without you is the way to go. You have to put yourself that they can't live without you. Because this is that's zero marketing cost. Talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, maybe I missed it, but what are your plans for scaling the business and how would you go about that? Because your presence, your enthusiasm, fantastic. How do you replicate you and grow this into a bigger business?
So when I started creating courses last year for that reason, last year I created a signature course that outlined my journey. It's called the Boss Life Blueprint. And the first module is all about the mindset shifts and the things that I did there. The second one is all about inner healing and doing inner child work, facing your shadow. And then the last few modules get a little metaphysical and spiritual. And I start talking about manifestation methods, because that's all that I talk about in my podcast is all of those things. So creating the courses is one way. One of the ideas that I'm actually going to launch this March, God help me, is another vision board workshop and manifestation courses, because those go very well. And my goal is to do it for 4 days and then make a price available for women that can't afford the 4 days to just do the 1 day that does the vision board. But if you do the 4 days, then that pays for your first month of membership, not the fitness membership. I'm launching a separate membership. Separate membership for women that just want me, like people are like, I used to have Facebook groups where I went live all of the time and I was teaching all of the time and I got burnt out, and people admitted like, we will pay for that. So I'm going to create a membership, and that's one of the ways that I plan to scale that aspect of it. And yeah, we're learning as we go.
Final question. Actually, it's a suggestion and a question. As your clients continue to progress and grow and develop, and go do amazing things themselves, start writing case studies. And especially like Rupert was talking about earlier in the board meeting, we've had a couple of large companies, billion-dollar companies start and come through 1 million cups, and we need to talk about that more. You could do the same thing with your clients. And this person was working at this particular job, and now she has her own company and she's doing this thing, or this person lost 150 pounds and now she's an ultra marathoner and blah blah blah, and you can say, I helped with this. And so I would do those kinds of testimonials.
I didn't think I could fit them on. Like I was looking at, I'm like, what's most important, the story or?
I just mean in general, in the future, those are things those are videos to have, and do these like little 2-minute documentaries about this client did these things. So be thinking about that as you're working with people and they do more stuff. Make notes so you can call them in a year and say, you know, let's share your big story. And so then the final thing is, what can we as a community, what can the people in this room do for you?
Well, all of the feedback that you gave was amazing because those are all things that I would not even know to think about. And that's literally what I'm trying to create for women. Like, you don't know what you don't know until you have to do it. So personally, the best thing that I could ask for is speaking opportunities, because one of the big mission behind Mind and Body is to level the economic playing field for women, because once we feel better, we can be more confident, ask for raises, get better positions at jobs, start businesses. And if I'm trying to help level the playing field for them, I don't want to get rich off of their backs. So that's why I stopped doing only high ticket coaching. I still have it, but that's not my main source of income anymore. So just helping, like you said, word of mouth is the best. So that's the main thing I could ask for.
Oh, I guess.
All right.
Thank you.
Reverend Bonnie Patterson.
Oh my God, dude, that would help me.
Yeah, but I said I was gonna.
You did.
Bonnie actually has her ordination. So she's a reverend. It shows. She's evangelizing fitness and well-being.
We pivoted out of the church.
Yeah, actually, I do, if anybody remembers, Caesar Medell, who used to come when we were in Rollins, had the co-working space. And during COVID, it was still kind of open and I was more or less managing the place. And Bonnie was the only other person in there. So imagine this 4,000 square foot space. I think it's about what we have here. And we're on opposite ends of the building, you know, out of an abundance of caution. And I would see Bonnie just on her phone doing conference calls with, or, you know, client calls, and then shooting videos, and she's walking around shooting videos every day, constantly just making content and pushing and just working hard. And this is the result. So well done, you.
Not everybody is that personal. This is true.
So since we have some time today, we occasionally do these discussion questions, and I'll ask things like, what's the thing keeping you up at night? Who do you need to meet? But this one is an easy one, because these are the things that we think, oh, I can handle myself, or I can put it off till later. And I just read this newsletter from this woman who works at Doist, which makes the Todoist app, which I highly recommend. And she talked about how she had these tasks that she had been putting off for weeks, and finally said, you know what, I'm tired of these showing up every day on my Todoist app. I'm just going to do them. She booked 3 hours to get all these things done. And these were things like return a broken video camera, record this video and do something else. She booked 3 hours of the afternoon. The whole thing took her 50 minutes. And she's like, this was so easy and it was so dumb that I kept putting it off. I made it more complicated in my head. So I am curious, what are the small things that you need help with now? And it could be something like, I need to renew a license, or I need to go drop this off, or I need to go buy something. What's a small thing you need help with? Tim?
Yeah, I wanted to add something to that. I do this in my workshops. Like that same question comes up in my workshops, and you'll say, well, I've got to call this customer today or tomorrow. And I says, why don't you do it right now? We'll wait and have them leave the room, because it only takes a minute and it's done. But the relief on your mind is the big thing. So I don't have any, nothing bugging me, but go ahead, folks.
Yeah, if anybody needs to make a phone call, we'll let you go do it. Anyone else? Dan?
Once a month in this room, I teach business ethics, a program sponsored by the incubator. And the small thing that I need help with actually is a few more people to attend the class, because I'm not just teaching the curriculum that I've come up with from 8 years of being a teacher in this area, but I need your feedback to hear what business people at all different stages, what they have to say about how the idea of working ethics and morality into a business, because it's a new area. You know, a lot of people say, sure, you need to be ethical in your business, but how do you actually do it? So I'm coming up with the tools, but I need feedback. That's the small thing that helps me. And we'll be here today at 11 o'clock, and we have food from Publix. So not enough for everyone in this room. I have to caution,
Is it chicken? Is it the chicken?
it's chicken and potato salad and
Ooh.
fruit.
I think you have to look at the
Actually, the stuff that he.
That is
So
so
weird.
good for top guys. What about startups? Startups that begging for money. You don't have any fun for anything else. So, some clients, you got to think about the big guys. Okay, go to a chamber of commerce meeting. Josh?
No, to Sean's point, can you ethically beg for money? I mean, you'd be a startup begging for money, trying to get funding. But there's probably ethical ways to do it, in some ways that aren't ethical.
Well, the startups that get money don't beg for it.
Anyone you're doing next month. It's out there the next day. People some fail with that.
Yeah.
During like ethics is a thing you have to do.
So I did want to bring it up because I also love ethics, but it is like what Sean is saying, a niche that is, so like, I work for this company and every year they make everyone take this ethics, like I gave it to them. I used to, and it was so much fun for me. I'm like, and I knew the difference between one thing that most people don't, but the point is, it's usually like the people at the top, they just make sure they don't get sued. So they'll do a business, it'll be like one class, 1 hour, the whole year. So, I mean, there has to be like an association or a group, maybe start with them and they'll, the HR people, to be honest, that's what I did. Human resources, they're the ones that are responsible and legal also.
All you need is 250 companies doing that once a year and you're set for the year.
Yeah.
But then the whole purpose is just checking the box, is that even ethical to begin with?
Well,
So.
there's also audit. Process and auditing, so like I'm a green belt, so they have processes and you set them up. And you make, so it's more than, who's the guy that said it was 1 hour? Was that you? I can't remember, man. Whoever said that, you're right, that's why you have processes and auditing.
Ethics starts at the top guys. Top guy dictates it, absolutely. Okay?
Yeah.
Look at what it took them almost 16 years for Southwest Airlines. Earned that, let's say, they're number one in the world. It took 1 day, the current CEO to screw it up. And he didn't listen to anyone. Everybody was telling him, you didn't listen. It cost $800 million and you will never get that back. It starts at the top. Everybody watches it. You say something and do something, oh. So that's where it's, you should focus on the client.
Are you appealing? Are you reaching out directly to like the CEOs of like mid-level companies or medium-sized companies and things like that?
Right, every week I contact new companies, all different stages. Some are outside the incubator, some are incubator members.
Right.
And there's all different kinds of interest and interest levels. Some are just puzzled by it.
Well, Sean brings up a good point, though, that, you know, the larger companies are the ones that are now being, through peer pressure, for lack of a better term, you know, and compelled to consider business ethics and things like that. And I'm thinking, because I know other people that do teach business ethics, or I know of other people that teach business ethics, but they're 3 days a week, they're in a corporate like boardroom type setting and getting paid big bucks to talk about that stuff. And I don't think they're any more qualified than you are. So, you know, that's what I would be focusing.
Have you ever talked to Congress? That might.
They need to learn some ethics. Oh, sorry.
It would take 6 months for them to come up with a decision.
Danny and then Shauna.
Takes a lifetime to earn a reputation, you can blow it in 5 minutes. Now, if you were a Rotarian, you wouldn't have a problem with this because we have the 4-way test. That's right. 24 words. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? If you keep that in mind, you'll stay on the straight and narrow. That's all you need to know about business ethics.
Shauna and Susan.
So I need help if you guys would. I officially have a website now. and so if you guys ever wanna look at darnlesscalling.com and just kind of please give me your feedback, because again, thanks to GoDaddy, it looks kind of presentable, but I know I'm probably missing a million things, so like, what do you wanna see on it? I would really appreciate that. darnlesscalling.com. GoDaddy.
No, I understand. I mean,
that's
one more question.
That's.
It's got WordPress.
She doesn't know.
Okay.
Builder.
It's like Wix. Yeah.
PHAR.
DHAR.
RS. Yeah. And then through there, you can just contact me and then tell me all your feedback or call me. I don't care, but I would greatly appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
Do you have a smoke creature that comes out if you mess up, you know?
Yeah, it like goes,
All right, Susan and then Peter.
I just want to add one more thing on to Dan's. I came from a corporate world and compliance training is all video. Maybe that's a better path for you to create a video, because nothing is done very few are done one-on-one, but compliance training is all, it's very serious, but it's definitely done.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, that's a good
All right.
idea.
Peter and Amita.
Two parts. One suggestion for you, Dan, also when team building, it's also an opportunity to educate people on ethics. Companies that are going through branding, they're coming up with their mission and vision. So that's a good opportunity too. Then for my ask, we sell coffee. A lot of people don't get to try the coffee. They're buying it online. They're depending on the feedback of those people who have that ability to try it. So if you can leave us a review on Google, whichever case, whether it's good or bad, there's something we can do with that feedback via farmers. So I'm appealing to you guys to help those people who haven't gotten an opportunity to try it, to know what kind of coffee it is.
Okay. Talk to me. I just started working with a company that helps you solicit feedback. I think it's 800ecommerce.com. You send them a list of customers, they contact those people, ask them to leave a review on 800 e-commerce, which then they can push out to your Google business listing. So talk to me about that a little bit. Amita and then Crystal.
My ask is I am getting ready to launch my first group coaching program, but I am drowning in the legalities. I'm trying to get my terms and conditions. I'm writing them myself personally. So that is my ask. If anyone knows how to deal with the terms and conditions. Yeah.
Jim.
I need help.
All right. Crystal, and then what's your name? Marlise, that's right. Crystal and Marlise.
So, I've been doing, distribution since when it's called for about a year, but I wanted to become more official on an LLC. I started trying to do it last night and I was kind of lost. And that I am becoming an LLC.
I get it.
Really appreciate it.
Didn't we talk about that yesterday?
We did. You were telling me, I'm like, okay, I gotta do it, but I tried not to. And I couldn't, and I was like, I don't want to click submit if I'm doing something wrong.
No,
I will
we'll
tell
take
you,
care of it.
thank you. Careful with LLCs, can really try to get you to go.
It's all passed through.
There's a lot of things you have to do if you're an LLC to try to.
Marlise and then Bob.
And mine is not a small ask, it's like a big thing that I'm working on right now. And it's, I built an MVP already, but then, so I have something, to show or to send, to client or potential clients, but I'm having a hard time, I guess, getting people to pay for it. So I keep telling them, like, people are interested when I tell them, oh, I'm looking for beta testers, it's free for now because, I need my feedback, feedback about the product. But then after that, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do about the beta testing. I don't know how much, how long, it should go. but I guess the basic question is just how do I get at least, one person to pay for what I built, to kind of like validate, that's something that more people would be willing.
Well, you should make it, in the beginning, you should let people know that this is gonna be a beta for this long. So, because a lot of people want to be involved in the data development, things like that, so you need to give them that urgency. Okay, so they need to say, no, oh crap, we only have 3 months and it's only a month left, so, let's do it. So that's one thing. And as far as getting people to pay for it, I mean, you let them know upfront that at the end of this beta period, you're gonna have to start paying for it. But you set the period to be as long as you believe you need based on the tools that you set up and the processes to collect the relevant data, like your key performance indicators and things like that. Set it up to be at least as long as that. I usually add another month for it. So yeah, and I can give you tons of other ideas.
Everything you said, and also betas aren't free, so you don't have to charge money. But you gotta let them know upfront that what you expect in return. Is it a video testimonial? In fact, that's what I would recommend, because those are powerful.
Yeah, that's
testimonials. If you ask the right questions, you can get great content that you website on the app. And so this way, because also you don't give away something for free because people don't value it.
Right.
If they know, okay, this isn't free, it's not costing me cash, but I've got to do something, I got to expend some energy. Then people are going to value it, you're going to get what you're looking for. And
sometimes you get that first thing. Once you find a problem, there's a big problem. The very first thing is a customer discovery. Customer is the one who builds your MVP, not you. Through them you build it, and through them you decide the value. They think the value, they will pay for it. Or you don't give anything free. That's how we do. That's a customer discovery process. Then you have to go to investor discovery process. That's how we build a business. It's very simple.
You just have to ask the right questions.
Yes.
Every time you give something free, the brain goes straight to what's the catch. So you need to be clear about that, and also remember that once you give something, your brain it's attached to something that you buy. So if you ask something small in return, it won't be a problem. If you ask something huge, like you need to sign up right after, just like you said, it's the way that you convey your message. But also when you give something, you always get something back. That's the process inside of it.
Have you really defined the pricing model? How much their riches are?
Yes, I do have that, but I've had some issues with, let's say, like formalizing, like the beta agreement, for example. I haven't had them, sign, anything, which is being more, kind of an informal process, like you do this, and you try, the leads. The thing is that it's something that they can make money off of, so because it's like real estate leads, right? Like they get a deal and they close the contract. So right now, I have no way, of enforcing, that, so I'm kind of like, it's trusting and they, in a kind of an honor system, okay, I'm gonna give you this, I'm hoping that you make a deal out of this, that you like, the leads, and then you come back, for more and pay for it. So that's kind of, but then, yeah, I really need to like formalize it. I can't really like hope, that if they get a deal, I cannot like guarantee, because in real estate you never know, so I still need to.
Hope and wish are not strategies. You have to go to customer discovery. You make about 10 customers, that's all I need. Really they want, and use them to build your one customer at a time. That's how we build an MVP. Otherwise, you're going to catch up later on. And they will decide the value, and they will pay for it. They can't live without it. They will pay for it. That's how it should be done. Otherwise, it's going to be trouble. That's why 90% fail.
All right, Bob, and then do we have anybody on Zoom who has a question?
Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry,
good.
that's a long thing.
Oh, yeah, we got those people.
Bob, and if anybody on Zoom has a question, you were next. So Bob, what do you got?
Mine's simple. I ask that you all have a wonderful week. This week. Oh, that was my
We
final
need some
word.
help with that.
There might be somebody.
All right, anybody on Zoom?
The chat.
It would have popped up. I would have seen a note. Oh, that was past.
Nobody raising their hand? Oh, I know Sheila's got some stuff.
Sheila's always got good stuff for us. All right, next week, we are gonna hear from Jennifer Fry of Appreciated Assets. Which it turns out is not going, oh, that's a nice asset. It's something different. So, we are also looking for a second speaker, so if anybody would like to give a presentation, still looking at you, PJ. You can do that. And we'll talk about how to get in there. You'll work with Josh, but we'll hopefully have you up there. If you are on Zoom, download the chat. If you are here and you want a copy of it, email me at eric.deckers@gmail.com. It's ERIK. Join us on meetup.com if you haven't already, and connect with somebody you met here today. Have coffee, have lunch, have a phone call, do something so you get to know each other. Let's build the community and make 1 Million Cups one of the biggest entrepreneurial organizations in Central Florida. So thank you very much, and we will see you all next week.
Say thank you.